But speaking of casting, we should probably do some of that before chat starts yelling at us. So, spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Babylon, we have the 2019 World Champion for Dragon Kites Gaming, Dark.
And his opponent in the upper left also going for a pool first. This is 12 pool versus a 12 pool from Onside Gaming. Give it up for Solar.
Oh, it's beautiful. You just love to see it, don't you?
Yeah, they're like ZVZ 12 pool. Yeah, it's let's fucking go. That's all I can say on that one. This is
you know,
definitely
the players didn't want this series to take too long, and I appreciate that. Yeah, they got things to do.
Yeah,
they're like, listen, I'm kind of hungry. I wanted to grab some food. Let's just make this a quick best of 5. Let's start out nice and early.
Yeah, all right, and everything's kind of lining up. They're just going for their hatch. Little link pressure from both, so they're gonna be kind of like dancing awkwardly for a minute. I think Chickenman, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's macro 12 pool. Everybody likes a good economic 12 pool opening. Ooh, Dark though gets the scout on the Lings before I think Solar's Overlord saw the Lings of Dark. So Dark gets a little advantage there because he's just going to be able to sit at home and defend. Solar doesn't realize that yet.
Yeah, let me just tell you, I got to cover some of Dark earlier, and they were incredible.
Ooh, Ling's trying to wrap around.
Well, yeah.
Solar looked really strong against Classic, but I mean, ZVZ is just such a different monster.
Oh, yeah.
Than any of the other matchups, really.
I mean, true, you're not wrong. And on top of it, either one of these guys, I would hedge them against Serral even in a ZVZ. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could see a chance even for Solar. They're both pretty good Zerg players.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. And I mean, the thing about it is, from what I understand, the professional players tend not to practice ZVZ. They just don't practice it. And that makes it really hard to get a good grasp on like who's gonna win in a ZVZ. Yeah. It's like, all right, well, if you don't practice it, then where are we? What's the meta here? And I feel like because the players don't always know either, things can just get really out of hand really fast.
Oh, for sure. You know, thinking of that, it's just the little stuff earlier on that adds up, I think, more than any of the other Zerg matchups. The Ling count, like just every little detail focuses in. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know about you casting, it can get pretty wild. You're like, oh, well, like 2 Lings fell right there. And I'll watch like Cats or somebody that's a Zerg player or even Steadfast, you know what I mean? And they're like a main, you know what I mean? Like, stuff can spiral out of control so fast.
It really can. In the early game scenarios, any little, I mean, in any mirror matchup, there's some truth to that, right? Like any unit you lose, if you're doing the same build,
right,
it's going to be so important.
But there's so many.
There ends up being so many units. And also a lot of it can come down to little things like this too. We see Solar going for an Evo Chamber. And so far not a Bane Nest. Yeah, he's going for the Roach Horn. So it looks like Solar's skipping the Bane Nest. But Dark's going for the Bane Nest. So Dark might get aggressive here with Lings and Banes. Solar's going to have to figure out how to defend with just Lings.
Well, Chickenman, I ain't no super high-level Zerg player. I will tell you this. He needs a scout at first. And I would assume he would need the wall.
Yeah, I mean, a wall's pretty good. Doesn't really save your third base, but it is pretty good. And there's a lot of Lings and Banes about to come out of Dark. Solar is trying to poke a little bit with the Lings, but he is going to get a scout on just how many Lings there are here for Dark. Somehow without Ling speed yet. God, that Ling speed is so late.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is he's going for the 9 Roach push with +1, I think. Oh, wait, he canceled.
Yeah, he has to cancel the +1 now and just get these Roaches out as soon as possible. But, oh, no. The big Bane hit. And now the queens get surrounded. The roaches feel like they might be too late. They're getting surrounded as they come out. Lings coming out as well for Solar, though, will push these Lings away of Dark. Can Dark get the kill on the third? It doesn't look like it. Solar is out here with the Lings, or with the roaches, rather. Dark's got to pull back. But I think Dark's still happy with this, right? He did get the queens. He's down a few drones, so he's got to get that drone count up a little bit. But he overall was able to get some good damage done. Even trades, though. Maybe this isn't as good for Dark as I had thought.
Yeah, Solar is leading for the moment, and honestly, I feel like the Roach Wars are the bigger issue, but they're both going into +1 ranged attacks, funnily enough, at about the same time. How things played out, it was honestly a bit of, I think there was a bit of luck on the Solar side, too, just how things timed out for him. He did lose the queen, but like you said, he ended up in a pretty good economic position.
I think Dark took a bit of an economic hit trying to go for this, getting those Lings out as early as he did. And he did just enough damage to maybe make it worth it. But actually, the more I look at it, the more I feel like Solar is going to be the one in the better position here. Look at his lair is quite a bit earlier. Yeah, he delayed his +1 missile attacks, but his army supply is even and his drone count is way up. And Dark's just not able to poke in with these Lings and get anything done because Solar, I mean, he's just defending. He knows I'm doing better on the economy. You sacrificed a lot for that. Didn't kill a single drone. Didn't kill the third base. You only got a few queens and a few Lings.
Right. Yeah, it's been it's definitely a bit of unfortunate build order stuff going on there, I feel like, too. But now Dark leading in supply, like you said, mostly into Lings. Solar, the one going into a Spire, though.
Yeah, the Spire is really interesting. I wouldn't have expected this, but I wonder if he's thinking Dark's going to go Spire and he wants to counter it, or if it's just going to be that unexpected. Because for Solar, I feel like you just get into roaches, you just make a big old Roach Rav army, and you're just ahead. But the Spire could catch Dark completely off guard.
Yeah, I personally like this decision. Obviously, the downside is you drop a Hydra Den, you build spores, whatever. But when it's so unexpected, just one wave of mutas could get a lot done economically because you're really not defending with queens. But then again, overseers are a thing, and we'll see what happens, how Mr. Dark responds.
Yeah, it looks like he might be able to get the scout on this. He's got the overseer going in, but now the 8 mutas are already on the way. So even by the time he scouts this, it's going to be a little bit late to fully respond. Doesn't have any spore crawlers up just yet, but I think he just spotted it. Spore crawlers going down. Hydra Den goes down immediately. Yep. I don't think Solar's going to commit to this. He's got more roaches on the way already. There's no +1 coming out or anything.
No.
So he's just going to go for the 8 mutas. It's just going to be some crowd control, chipping away at some units, and it forces the response out of Dark, right?
Yeah, the other thing he could do, though, is, as he is supply blocking, forcing more overlords, maybe even denying a base. It just gives him some good information. Yeah, it said he's going to put a little pressure on this hatch, kind of. He's kind of toying with Dark a bit.
Yeah, and I mean, at 68 drones, the worker count's even between them. Look at Solar's army supply, though. And some of that's in the mutas, but it's mostly just Roach Ravager, because while Dark's been busy trying to get into Hydras, Solar's just building up that ground force. He's still defending these Lings. These Lings have been poking around the whole game, and Dark hasn't been able to get anything done with them.
Yeah. The whole time Solar's truthfully been making the Roach.
Yeah, Roach is pretty good here. The Queen's going to start to go down. There are Hydras out now, so the mutas can't really help in this fight too much. But I don't know if they fully need to. The Roaches and Ravagers are here as well. A lot of Lings showing up. Solar, it looks like he might be able to get this hatchery, but he's got to be a little bit careful. He doesn't want to overcommit to this. There's a lot of stuff here for Dark.
Oh, yeah, for sure, Chickenman. I don't really like how the army got clumped up there. Yeah, that was not the best concave for Solar, to say the least.
Yeah, but you know what? He's got the +2 attack advantage. I didn't even realize Dark's wasn't finished yet. And Solar ends up taking a decent fight on the top side. He was trying to poke on the left as well. Dark ends up pushing him away. And you know what? That 4th base stayed up. It's very important for Dark.
Oh, but Solar's going to take a 5th behind us, going to defend, and he's putting some pressure on with the mutas and the roaches on the side, so he's getting a few workers. Yeah, I think that was a good move. Good. It was definitely good defense from Dark, but it all came down to that, like you said, that upgrade advantage. The concave just kind of fell apart there, and I think Solar just took a really bad fight.
Yeah, he definitely was a little bit down on units on the right-hand side, but those units on the left really helping out as well. He's going to come back in now, seeing that there's a lot been committed to defending those few roaches on the bottom, and finally the 4th base will go down. I don't know if Solar can really push up this ramp right now, but he is taking a 5th while killing a 4th, and I feel like that is just going to put him in such a good position. How, as Dark, do you come back from this?
Well, you got to do everything you can. He dropped the rocks. I think was a pretty cheeky move in the upper right side, kind of segmenting off the army, but I guess he's just got to try to transition out of this. We got Burrowed Roach coming for Solar, and I would assume we're going to see we probably needed to see it earlier, but a Lurker Den would have been my guess before, but he didn't have the economy for it. He couldn't even mine off that base. Yeah,
I was kind of thinking Lurker Den as well, but it looks like Dark doesn't feel like he has the money for it, just needs to get more units out. I love the idea of the Burrowed Roaches coming out of Solar. I think that's a good way to try to put the nail in the coffin here for Dark. Right now, Dark taking a good fight, though. Those Hydras putting out the DPS, taking down a lot of those Ravagers, but Solar's economy, he's not on a ton of drones, but he's got much more efficient mining. He's got more bases, and he's just going to be able to keep replenishing this army. He's still at 200 supply. Dark is down to 158.
Yeah, for sure. That being said, it looks like the push of pushies is coming. And we'll see how this fight goes. Oh, but Solar did eat some biles right there.
Yeah, Solar seems not to care. I feel like the thing is, even if Dark is able to push this back again, every time it chips away more and more. And this time, Solar just had too much. He will take game number 1 of this best of 5.
Yeah, very cool. Also, got to do a little bit of a hello and shout out to Some Drunk Canadian.
Yes.
It's good to see you around, brother. He's drinking some soju. Maybe we could bring him in for a game or something. What do you think, Chickenman?
I mean, if he's down, I'm always down. Me and him, we're up in the Pacific Northwest area.
Yeah.
Together. One day I'm gonna head up to Vancouver. I'm gonna go say hello. Or if SDC, if you ever come down to Seattle, you just let me know, bud. I'm here.
Yeah. Feel free. No pressure, of course. Just an invite. SDC.
No, a lot of pressure. Actually, no. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna grab some water real quick while we load into this game. I will be right back.
All right. Well, I'm gonna. Yeah. Want me to tell them to hold on a sec? Okay.
No, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I could probably use some myself. I didn't plan ahead.
My sink is very close. It does not take long to get water.
I actually have you up on my other monitor. I'm like, oh, that's nice. The convenience.
Oh yeah, that is nice.
A nice standing desk, by the way.
Thank you. This is my new casting desk. Still getting used to it a little bit here, but it's fun. It's nice to stand and cast. I gotta say, way better than sitting. I have way more energy.
I can tell. Like, I'm thinking about it now myself, to be honest.
It's a good idea. It's a good idea. Keeps you going throughout all the many hours of casting that we do.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of which, before some drunk Canadian yells at me again in chat for not talking about the game, spawning in the lower left-hand corner of Royal Blood, it is our dragon Kitesy Gamer, Dark.
And his opponent in the upper right, he's blue. He's slimy. Representing Onside Gaming. Give it up for Solar. No 12 pool versus 12 pool this game, Chickenman.
No. God's honest macro here from our two Zerg players. It's really funny how it works like that. Like, we could very easily have seen a 12 pool versus macro in both games, but instead we got the beautiful 12 pool versus 12 pool. I'm sad nobody committed though. They both went for the macro 12.
Yeah, one wasn't full send. Exactly. I am 100% with you.
Hopefully we get a full send 12 pool in this series.
Oh, for sure. You know, ironically, I was thinking about this too. As we're starting out in a macro game, you know, the drones be built, the gases get saturated. You know, funnily enough, if Steadfast internet crapped out, we wouldn't be surprised because it's Canadian internet. But it is kind of ironic, though, that it was both of you and I losing internet and everybody in the Americas and the U.S. side. There was Steadfast.
Oh, yeah. That was during one of the ESLs, right? Like,
yeah,
all of us got kicked from BattleNet. It wasn't even internet, right? It was specifically BattleNet. Like, it was anybody in the U.S. just couldn't use it for a little bit. That sucked. That was like right in the middle of a really sick series too.
Yeah, and Steadfast is like the one time it's actually good to have Canadian internet.
That Canadian internet coming in clutch. Yeah, I don't know if it was internet tonight or if he was just like tired.
Yeah, he's the cast.
It is kind of late. Yeah, he's been doing those ESL casts.
Yep. And either way, for me, it's getting late. But you know what? I'm enjoying this, dude. I'm seeing you and I, Zed. We like to see the diversity. People get nervous. You see lower turnouts. Sometimes it can be fun. And tonight was definitely a special one. I think we had Estrella playing tonight.
Yeah, I'm sad.
Estrella's first.
I'm sad we didn't get to cover that one. I don't think anybody covered it.
No, I should have too, and he literally kept it for me. I hope he's not mad at me. Estrella's my boy. I'm like, I really should have went to it, but I didn't want to get stuck out of the series. And actually, there was Kano and some of our
Kano was in there.
Badger.
Oh, Sewer Badger was in there. Okay. Well, and of course, some people do cover replays and stuff too. So hopefully, those games get viewed, because I imagine Gumiho versus Estrella was a banger series.
Yeah, I know. He took a game off of him actually too.
Yeah, it was 2-1, so super close.
I'm curious to see if he played random. Poor Estrella. Estrella's probably like, I'm never doing this again. I have to play with all the ping, and you know.
I mean, he will get paid. That's top 8, you know.
Yeah. No, it's true, and
could be worth it.
Yeah, for sure. Just the situation though, like Estrella just being, to me personally, he's been awesome.
He's a lovely guy.
Good internet friend. Yeah, just a great guy in general. But yeah, that being said, we're trailing off again. We got some Banes in defense. Pretty standard wall.
You know, nobody's getting very aggressive here so far. We have a lair on the way for Solar already. It's a very early lair. That's probably the most notable thing. And it makes me wonder if he's going to go for mutas again. But with the Roach Warren going down, I don't know. Could this be like a Nidus or something?
Yeah, the funny thing is there's two Overlords staring each other down by the Korean StarCraft League side in the bottom left corner. So Dark might be that would be a bold move against Dark, the guy who's known for Niduses. Actually, he did Niduses against Gumiho, and he did it against what the hell was he playing? I'm having one of those memory moments, Chickenman.
Firefly.
Anyway,
Firefly,
yeah. And Firefly actually had the sickest hold. That was actually an incredible series right there.
Dark's coming in here with a few Banes and a few Lings right now. That's actually quite a few Lings.
Yeah.
Zoning with the Banes, trying to get on top of the drones, and these drones. Uh-oh. I'm a little worried for Solar's drones right now. But Solar's got his own Banes. He's going to come in. Oh, my God. He's missed a couple of big Baneling hits. But Dark still has some Lings around. Roach is coming out now, though. But it feels like if Solar had a plan that was anything special, it's pretty much done at this point. 7 drones going down is very painful. Having to build these roaches maybe when he didn't want to, also a little bit rough, but he does have that earlier roach speed. His +1 is nearly done. Solar might have an opportunity to push across right now. He's down quite a few drones, but he is not rebuilding them. I think Solar's going for it, and Dark's got to be on the defensive. Dark's moving across with roaches. Oh, no, dude. He does not realize. He does not realize roach speed's about to finish for Solar. Dark is in a bad spot right now.
Oh, yeah, he is, Chickenman. That was the best read you could have on that.
Oh,
Surprise!
man. Yep, surprise. All of a sudden, my roaches are faster. A few of these roaches going to go down on the retreat. Not too many, fortunately, for Dark, but he is just building nonstop roaches. He's got spine crawlers on the way. He realized Solar is not building drones behind this, so Dark's going to pull his drones, and he just taps. He doesn't even fight it out. He just says, you have too much. He completely misread that and thought he could follow it up with some roaches, and just gets caught totally off guard by Solar. It feels like Solar has Dark's number right now.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And what's crazy is when I say some of the games earlier, Dark was playing in his ZVT and his ZVP was literally at the crazy GSL level, just insane play out of Dark. That said, I was going to say in Firefly's defense, he had, from the build order he probably did the sickest defense and hold against Lane Queen Dark, you know what I mean, Nidus. It was just insane. He almost came back, but they gave us a good series. But that's the form of Dark we have tonight, and Solar's managed to put 2 on the board already.
Solar's bopping him. It's like Dark has the strongest punches in the world, but Solar's like, what if I just dodge them?
Yeah.
If I just move to the side, what are you going to do? Doesn't matter how strong they are. You missed.
He's playing like Rocky Balboa, right? He's psyching. Dark's expecting him to be punching from one side, and then after he's going to be punching from the left, and surprise, they're all coming from the right.
my friend, I think you and I had very different experiences watching Rocky.
Or the opposite way around. Yeah, I'm a freaking... Yeah.
Rocky took those punches straight to the face.
Yeah, he did. No, for sure. But, we was practiced. Never mind.
I'm just kidding. I'm just messing. Anyways, game 3. This could be the final game. We're already on match point. Spawning in the lower left of Ancient Cistern, it's Dragon Kitesies. Dark.
And his opponent in the upper right. I miscorrect. We had his score as 0-2 because I'm so used to Dark bopping people at times. Give it up for Onside Gaming Solar. Oh my goodness. That Rocky Balboa moment just kind of threw me completely off, Chickenman. That was basically it. I'm not gonna lie.
It's just really funny because I feel like you could have said like Muhammad Ali,
Yeah, and I choose Rocky Balboa. I just watched Rocky 1 and 2 like last week too. So, God, my memory's shot too. But I think it was a Rocky 2 thing, but I don't know.
It could be. It could be.
But you're right about him getting just basically more notably just eating punches to the face.
Yeah. I feel like you're right though. I feel like in Rocky 2 he did work on his speed and his dodging, right? I feel like that was a big part of the storyline there. So I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, it was. Mick was trying to get him to punch on the other side because everybody thought of him as a left-handed hitter, I guess. And he's like, "We're good. No, switch to the right," And he's like,
"He's a southpaw man."
He's a southpaw man. Exactly. Now you remember it. See. Between the two of us, we have about 2 brain cells functional for memory, folks.
I think between the two of us, we can remember maybe 7 or 8 things.
And those things are like words.
If we're lucky. Sometimes I remember to breathe. I don't know about you.
Yeah, true. That's a tough one. I do forget that one quite often. But for different reasons. Usually it's because my breathing's too full of cigarette smoke. Let's be real here. All right.
No, another pretty standard opening. No 12 pulls here. So we're actually just going to take the quick third base. Yeah, both players. All right. Okay.
Yeah. That's looking pretty even. Stevens. Dark just had an extra drone for a second. And what's he going? He's going.
Couple of Bane nests. This is kind of how last game started, I feel like. Yeah, nothing too crazy. We'll just keep an eye on the tech choices here. And keep an eye on that production tab to see who decides to make a big round of lings first.
It looks like Dark's already starting it.
Okay, Dark answering questions as they're asked. Thank you, Dark.
I mean, realistically, it's Dark.
It
naturally, if you were just gonna make a blind bet, I would always have that Dark.
Who's going to be the more aggressive player? Yeah, it's Dark for sure. Over Solar?
right.
Yeah, I for sure would see that.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, like, imagine being that guy that's like, all right, you got Maru and you got Bion, and you're like, okay, well, never mind. Before that, we're gonna just see a queen get what?
yeah, the Banelings. Look at these bodyguard Banelings, dude. Oh, but Dark says I have those too. Dark says I built the Bane nest. Oh man, Solar needs more Banelings desperately, but he doesn't have them yet. Takes a big hit from Dark's Banes. But Dark doesn't quite have enough to keep the pressure on just yet.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, those Banelings, who the hell was it in that shitty movie back in the day? Sandra Bullock.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Sandra Bullock is a national treasure. I don't want to hear any trash talk.
I wanted to.
Oh! Solar eating another big Bane hit. Okay, so Dark kind of took a big one too. All right.
I wanted to get a rise at you on that one. I'm like, I know I'm going to do it.
And if you're going to talk about speed and say that's a bad movie, I'll not hear it. I'll close this call right now if that's the Sandra Bullock movie you're talking about.
Oh,
even Cats
buddy.
doesn't agree with the shitting on Sandra Bullock.
Oh, Cats doesn't
He
either?
knows.
Well,
No, you
actually,
can't do
I
that.
feel like
National
I
treasure.
Cats is usually the one when I'm watching ESL that's usually bringing up movie stuff. I just channeled you in an instant and did the exact opposite thing you'd say, Cats. That's hilarious. Oh, boy. Oh, man, nothing we could have done better there.
These guys really going hard on the Ling Bane right now. We're finally getting into Roach Warrens, but Solar's got 18 more Lings in production. Dark is keeping the pressure on. We're getting the true knife fight here.
Yeah, it is definitely on a dagger's edge. Take a look at the. I'm just going to keep the units tab up right now. This is pure Ling Bane battles. Oh, my gosh.
There's just explosions everywhere.
Yeah,
but so far, I mean, Solar, I feel like, has the better end of this. He's up quite a few drones. Dark tries to go for the run by. He doesn't quite get it.
Oh, Dark with these defensive Banelings on the west side is going to be able to...
Oh, this Ling scouts a whole bunch of roaches, though. That is huge. Solar just realized Dark's going no lair, full roach behind this. Solar immediately pulls back. He just has to make roaches and roaches. No, he's building a drone. Does he feel like he's just got it? Okay, hold on. Dark's droning too. Dark was like, shit, I was scouted. Okay, drones.
All right, so here's the thing is, Solar has this massive Ling run by. He can get a lot of damage done on the other side of it. There's going to be a
oh, yeah, there's no Banelings this time. These Lings going to get on top of a Queen, get on top of a Roach, cause some issues. Dark hasn't been building more units, so...
Yeah. Oh, Banelings, Roaches. Well.
Oh, Solar doesn't have a lot of Banes left. Army supply is still heavily in Solar's favor, though, and I feel like that's a real problem for Dark. The Lings on the other side of the map have killed 5 drones, and they're still causing issues, forcing Dark to focus back there while he's getting pushed back on the front. All of a sudden, look at these supplies. Solar ends up way ahead on drones, ahead on Army supply. The +1 is pretty much even. Dark's lair is behind. Solar is ahead in every imaginable way right now. In Game 3.
Solar is literally playing like a ZVZ god today. Let's be real here. This is...
I mean, he for sure has Dark's number. And this is one of the funny things that like happened to Serral too for a long time, was he could beat any Protoss and any Terran, and that's kind of what Dark does. And then it would get to ZVZ, and Dark would be like, just didn't quite have the right rhythm. And his opponent here, Solar, he's got it, man. He's figured it out. He knows when Dark's gonna do what. I can't believe Solar started droning as soon as he scouted those roaches. He was like, okay, I scouted him. Dark's gonna start droning. He counted on it, and it absolutely paid off for him.
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, you want to know something funny? I get flamed sometimes, or have been flamed. Solar happens to be one of my favorite Zerg players. Just he has some really cool strategies that he'll pull out, but his game sense is usually just pretty good against some higher tier players.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I do feel like Solar's game sense can be one of his like strongest attributes. He tends to be a pretty standard player. He's not as like crazy as Dark, like we were talking about. He doesn't, I don't know, he doesn't shy away from late game. He just kind of plays it pretty standard macro a lot of the times, and because of that, I think his game sense is highly developed. He's the number 10 player in the world right now for a reason, you know?
Yeah, like even earlier. Okay, so this is looking like that's it. It's
That's it. It's just straight up. Solar won that game like 3 minutes ago, and we were just waiting for Roach Speed to finish.
Yeah, like literally was already done.
So yeah, that's it, man. Solar just smashes Dark in the finals, and Dark, once again, honestly, this is looking kind of rough for Dark. He has now lost 4 finals in the KSL. He is 0-4 in grand finals.
Damn.